Now, if you have a pointer to a base class, a problem happens when these derived objects are destroyed. To demonstrate this, before I started recording, I added a destructor in each of these classes. So here in the widget class, we have a destructor where we print this message. And similarly, we have a destructor in the text box and checkbox classes where we print a different message. Now let's run the program and see what happens. All right, look, we see destructing a widget twice. So our destructors are not called properly. So earlier I told you that in inheritance, the destructors of our classes are called in reverse order. So to destroy a text box object, first the destructor of the text box should have been called, followed by the destructor of its base class. And similarly, to destroy a checkbox, first the destructor of the checkbox, followed by its base class, should have been called. So obviously, the destructor of these derived classes are not called. But can you tell why this is happening? The reason is again static or early binding. So the compiler has decided that the destructor of the widget class should be called. Now, how can we solve this problem? By using dynamic or late binding. To make that happen, we need to declare the destructor of the widget class as virtual. So virtual. Now let's run the program and see what happens. All right, now our objects are destroyed properly. So first we see a call to the destructor of the checkbox, followed by its base class. And similarly, one more time for our text box, followed by its base class. So here's what you need to take away. Anytime you declare a method in a class as virtual, that means you're going to use polymorphism at some point, right? Now, when you use polymorphism, you have to make sure that your objects are destroyed properly. So whenever you declare a method as virtual, you should always add a virtual destructor in that class as well. Even if that destructor is not going to do anything, you still need to implement it. Now, in this lesson, we're simply printing a message. We're not going to do that in a real application. So we'll have an empty destructor. Now, we don't have to define this destructor explicitly. We can have the compiler generate it for us. So back to the header file. Here we set this to the default keyword. Make sure to add the virtual keyword as well, because the default destructor that the compiler generates is not virtual. Okay? So one more time. Whenever you declare a method as virtual, you should always add a virtual destructor in that class as well.